Hi, I'm Chirag, your presidential candidate for the club that was rated #1 in the batch-wide survey conducted by FGC last year, Business Technology Club. So, but that's probably not what you think of when you think why to join BTC. That's the best club, which it is. But you probably think of this pyramid. That it will help you get placed prep for product roles, which isn't the only thing we do, but fair. Absolutely anyone would come up with this, logically would come up with this plan of action, understand what roles are there, learn from sessions by peers, alums, industry experts, do some product tear downs, team up people for case comps, tell me what Microsoft asked in the interview, and please prepare me for it, and also review my resume. Sounds simple, and it is, which is why this is not my soapbox. You can come up with exactly this plan of action. The magic is always in the execution details, which is why my pitch to you is how much I have thought and researched about the details of execution and the pain points that face our batch and BTC club. One is that less than 10% of us actually have any relevant product background, and 50% of us are engineers, more than, and around 30% of us will get placed here and from different backgrounds. So it's a very uneven playing field, which is why I genuinely believe that to really optimize everyone's time, for both people who are aware and people who are curious, we need to run two separate parallel tracks. We already have too little time in ISB, and we cannot be intimidating one set of people or underutilizing another set of people. So some of us should not wait till term 4 to work on company cases. We can work on something called source product cases right away, which I'll explain later. Definitely get an initial resume review done, identify gaps, attend advanced speaker sessions like product vision, and while the rest of us should really utilize term 1 and 2 to learn about what is product. Term 1 could help in upskilling to familiarizing with tech concepts, because term 2 mein time nahi hoga to, and it's much more accustomed to attending speaker sessions about what roles are out there. And our individual journeys, customized journeys, would eventually end up merge at term 5 career prep, because, and hopefully by the end of it, we would have done justice to all of our collective time. But that does not mean that we dump information. You see, you will have access to a lot of drives and PDFs that will teach you something like prioritization frameworks. So you'll find things like 5E, okay, this looks good, I understand it, but unless BTC members, maybe the council and some of the active members make the effort to design a fake sprint using a hypothetical product, it might not be of much value. Yes, it will be difficult, and it will require an extra hour on Sunday, and initially WhatsApp conversations might go something like, but I genuinely believe we have to push for practicum hands-on learning. Now, about the ALP situation. So some of us will win a few case comps, even try Hamirpur and Gandhinagar when it gets desperate, but it won't fill 300 resumes, especially since less than 10% of ELPs that were sourced at ISB since the last few years had anything to do with product or technology. Good thing is, I figured out that after a lot of bureaucracy, and ELP sourcing just looks like a document where a company has specified what the project description is, objective is, the deliverables, the impact, and what the team should look like. So you would think that, well, I could maybe go with this template and reach out to a startup and source cases. There's one caveat. Formal ELPs that count towards credit involve some money paid by firms to ISB that startups might be reluctant to pay, which is why my solution and my vision is that we as BTC Club reach out and source cases to work on for the members of the club without calling it an ELP. And it's not just a fancy idea. I have pitched this and companies are willing. One of the ISB alums was nice enough, in fact, so nice that he censored the problem statement as if it was a cab company statement. And we'll obviously not reveal the formal wording unless we have formalized stuff. Moving on, technology strategy is a bit of an abandoned child. It lies between two clubs that really needs collaboration, so that unlike last year when Deloitte reached out to both of the clubs for some technology strategy roles, there was no reply and we missed out on a few roles in a few cases. This is a cause very close to my heart, and I definitely would be looking to collaborate with women in product and women in tech local chapters for workshops and to expand the network beyond ISB women. Product Conclave has to be a part of any BTC Soapbox. It's a marquee event. These are my ideas for the same, but they don't matter. The ideas of the people who join will matter, and we'll have a discussion on it. I'm going to read this weirdly bunched companies is that I failed a PM interview at each of them, including my own firm NatWest. And that is my why me. You see, I faced the exact same emotions before, so I know what you all are going through. When I asked to move from senior software engineer to product on side of my own company, I knew I was asking for something I wasn't even remotely prepared for. So, but you fight your own doubts and the doubts of others. And during this year, when it gets a bit overwhelming, and the oceans of PDFs and frameworks and tech bites gets a bit too much, I'll be there to remind you that it is a bit of fake it till you make it. I'm happy that I do have to learn a lot about product management. I've only ever done it for a well-regulated bank who could not afford to take many risks, and I've never worked at the pace of delivery and scale of some of these app-based startups. But that is why I'm standing for president. You see, what I bring to the table is my spirit to fight and my experience working against bureaucratic hurdles all my life to get approvals and to get things done and to ensure a smooth functioning throughout the year for the club.